welcome back, navigators. This is the second episode of the second season of the second part of getting to know Viwe intimately. Hello, Viwe. How are you doing?
Guys,
the captain of the ship is in the hot seat.
Oh, sorry, I was about to say, I'm doing sign language. Hello.
You well?
I am very much well. Thank you very much.
Tell us
How are you?
about your trip to Dubai.
To Dubai, honey, it was buns in the hair. It was buns in the air. It was total letting go. It was total fun. It was love. It was keeper. Thank you very much for asking.
Every little thing.
No, after 2025.
Dependency to July, to Dubai.
Yeah, and how are you doing, Viwe?
I'm easy, bro. It's 2026.
Yeah.
It's 2026.
Are you ready to have a conversation with the lady of the moment? Because the last time we were chatting with her, I don't think one episode is enough. I don't even think 2 episodes are enough to get to know Viwe, but we promise not to take it beyond this step. So last time, we had a good run. We had a good measure of getting, to know me up close and personal with this young lady from Ngobo. Yeah. Now, carrying on from the previous episode.
Okay.
Right. So speaking of your trip to Dubai, that happened in January, right? Mm-hmm. So you were very intentional about spacing your Christmas holiday.
Yeah.
In December, we were all over the hype of Amakwala, Amazimazana, and everything else. It became hot topic the world over, the radio stations were abuzz. Kings and queens were called to studio to explain the age-old culture of, boy child, the tradition of
boy to manhood.
Male circumcision.
Yeah.
So now at Dubai, what was the highlight of your moment there?
Highlight?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I feel
Can
like
you think of something dramatic? Please, who was boring?
Apart from the fact that there was a wheelchair involved, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Guys, also, can I just say something? I don't like these guys. Like,
Which
I
guys?
honestly don't like the guys I'm sitting with here.
Why?
Because you all are speaking from advantage. You want to push this to something, Okay, so yes, Dubai happened.
Should we say it or you will?
Dubai happened and Dubai was absolutely magical. It was planned. It was a holiday that I needed to go to. 2025 was hush to my soul.
It was
2025 was hush to my soul. It had many wins, Sanalam, but it was very hush to my soul. And there was that intention of just making sure that 2026 does not go similarly. I didn't want to be passive in this year. So let's go Habibi.
So was
Let's go to Habibi land. I'm not going to where you want us to go.
Was it Noma Helelelikal?
Okay. All right.
Was it Noma Helelelikal?
She won't go the Noma Helele route, but we'll let you in on that one.
Nobody's allowed to.
We'll let you in on that one.
We love you though, Tina.
Why
are you the only person that's right and both of us are wrong?
But also, you called me here about Dubai. Dubai was fun. Dubai was absolutely fun. It was letting go. So the moment they want me to narrate, I won't, because my dad does watch this show.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah. We'll respect that.
But it was literally the pinnacle of the trip.
Okay.
It was... But also, let me summarize by saying Dubai was buns in the air. It was letting go, head down. It was azishe. It was you kalon bonus light, guys. Yes, cola. Imagine. Bonus download notes. How do I make sure? You know what I mean? Something you'd never prepared yourself for in your whole entire life before that moment. But because we show up. And we do what needs to be done.
And that's a conversation that needs to be had, Nomana Izibalite, right?
I think I was the first, wasn't I?
We're gonna get to Izibalite on another episode with another guest.
All right.
With me.
And have a chat about it.
We're talking about Izibalite. Guys, what is Izibalite to start with?
Actually.
You want to explain?
Can we please define what Zibalite is?
Oh, what I was?
What Zibalite? Not what you were. What Zibalite is?
I can only define it because I think it was the first time I heard of a Zibalite is when I called myself a Zibalite. So I can only define it, around my circumstances.
Yeah.
So when you find yourself in a situation where, hey, bra, Carlos Badala, sichomana nabantu abadala. So a friend unonyana and ufuneka emulusile. And ke ngezi circumstances zikekele, you know.
Right.
Zikekele as it should be, you know. And then we figure out when it's like, okay, what am I called to do?
Yeah.
We are all called to show up, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you decide, okay, girl, let's show up. Let's make sure to download notes. Download is critical because we didn't prepare. We were never born into this situation. Neither did we birth sons, you know. But are called to the moment. And I think it goes for every aspect of one's life. You know, when life asks you to show up, you show up the best way you can. And you leave zonke conversations about what's right and what's wrong. You just show up in the moment and do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
I might not have had the opportunity of birthing a son. There's one and a situation where there is a son. And the son go through.
Yeah.
I won't go into the details about I'm not part of it, but I'm going to show up the best way I can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Girl. Yes,
good.
Let's do this thing well, if anybody has something to say about it, guys, also we're not living yet. Comment about an over-exaggerated sense of importance in people's lives. But I'll comment on social network and
speaking of that,
nothing, honey.
Speaking of that, you know, whenever there is a family gathering of whatever magnitude, people are likely to ruffle feathers a bit because everyone wants something done. You said 2025 was a tough year, right? I thought we ended on a positive note. Do you often feel that you are misunderstood, Viwe?
At any point.
Aren't we all?
We'll talk about
that's very
when
generic.
The time
this
alive.
is very specific.
But
so I think part of my complexity concerning 2025 was around exactly that. I felt misunderstood. I felt it was a year where I faced, I'm a very private person as much as I am a very social person, but I actually socialize within very managed spaces, right? So I don't have a profile or a life that's out there, you know, or, you know, and when somebody decides to then formulate another image of yourself and you are aware of it, you know, it's violating. But also, I mean, whatever people formulate about you has not been the reason for your survival, you know. As anybody, I said this in the previous episode, by the way, I said every human being is allowed an opinion, and abanye are not even supposed to be entitled to opinions because they're actually very reckless with their opinions. They can try and you know, and cause issues and just from being entitled to having an opinion. But ultimately, if you know 1,000 people, you have 1,000 reputations, all formulated from different opinions and encounters. So do you ever find that that's where you should migrate from in defining yourself? I definitely don't think so. It takes a clear mind to steer clear of people's opinions of you. Sometimes it could be positive opinions of you, but you have to live independently of that because that can change and you have no control. So ultimately, that's why I always advocate for self-understanding, self-acceptance, and self-love. Because when you operate from that space, then whoever says anything about you is ultimately on the outside. And that's where you manage everybody from. So I hope I've answered your question.
You have. So it's basically clarity and understanding. Basically self-awareness, understanding of what you're about. But then in that endeavor of understanding, to you yourself, how negotiable are you in understanding others and, you know, getting a complete view and context from both sides? Say, okay, you've got to listen where I'm coming from. I understand where you're coming from because there's always a conflict of ideas, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But how do you navigate that space then to say, whenever you're in conflict, how do you really deal with it?
So it depends, right? I don't believe everything that's out there needs to be addressed. Like I honestly I don't believe everything needs to be addressed. Right?
And true.
Yes, but if it is important to me, you know, if I hold you in any special regard, I prefer giving you audience. If you have anything to say about me. Or if you have anything that we need to clarify. For I don't believe, we call it diplomacy that I've been surrounded by, particularly in 2025, where I'm just like, guys, in my work, and my family knows too, if there's something to address as issue, if you need to disrespect me in any way, for me, bro, I'll give you front seat, do it here, primary audience, I will.
Don't go behind my back.
Even if you do, but ultimately you must be able to stand on business. If you're going to have stuff to say with whoever we're to, for me, ultimately, the final stage is for you to come and say, and I will call you out to Nanduku, I'm ready to give you audience as Ishe.
Yeah.
I want you to do it. So for me, I don't believe everything in anybody needs to be addressed. I will not have time for that, But if I hold you in any special regard, I do prefer that we do it in person.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just how I'm made up. So for me, no one disrespect the guys behind me, but as soon as I give you audience, stand on business.
Stand your ground.
Yeah, stand on it.
Stand your ground.
Say it in my face.
Yeah, say it in my face. Yeah.
And that influences a lot of decisions that you make when it comes to life, when it comes to business, as you say, stand on business.
Yeah.
But also more especially when it comes to life, Ndobana, as the person that I know, the associations that I have, the relationships that I have, Nabantu, for instance, Mnanawe, whereas if you're going to say some issue, some issue about me, then be able to stand up on it. Okay, Nanzi Indo, can we resolve it? Or are we parting ways? And how are we parting ways?
So Glenda, because I've also just learned where a lot of people hide behind, and I think social media is such a tool for many people. Many people will hide behind faceless doors, where they feel they have a right to abuse people. And a lot of them are projecting.
An alias.
Because they're projecting about whatever they are, they want everybody else to be. Whatever threatens them in their own personal spaces, they want to paint it out on other people. So if it's there and it's far, I said this about the divorce party, that look, I actually felt, oh my goodness, some of the comments that I received for that event were very unfair. But for me, it was almost hilarious then, because I was like, imagine, when's it divorce party? Sunshine, clearly this is somebody who's not socialized to understand that women have similar capabilities to men. That you married, it's not an obvious issue, but the man is providing, right? The comfort, it's not that obvious. It's 2026 now. I hope some of you, Nje, can suddenly be so awakened to this truth, because and ultimately, the awakening of humanity depends on the mass awakening. So, niyasifailisa guys, ngeba sesipasa ngoko.
Lando kuthiwa usundikangomva weteaspoon amacephe ekhona.
Bakukha ngenaliti sana kuthiwa. Etip yenaliti. Here's a man and that man is doing oh my goodness.
You mentioned something. Geez, you're giving us enough material for other topics.
Oh, absolutely, bro.
Because now she spoke of being overly dependent on a man's provision. And understanding Viwe, she is the firstborn. And Ngundom guys say
literally and literally.
Yes, by birth, literally. So do you struggle with the patriarchal setting or social setting where a man has to provide? Now, I can imagine you understand marriage in its structure, right? This communal structure.
This marriage thing, guys. Stop asking me.
It's not about marriage.
I have to give context.
Okay.
Now, it's post that life.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself struggling with those concepts of provision, providence, and somebody expressing in ways of providing not necessarily their time, their kindness, and their protection towards you, but more even on the finance side? It's like you almost on a defense mode to say, I don't expect a man to do ABC.
Are you on a defense mode?
Am I though?
No.
You tell us.
Yeah, actually that's part of the question. Are you on a defense mode? It's saying bambenge chap distance. Okay, it wasn't like in Tanzania bambenge chap distance. Calculate your distance in terms of what's going on. Yeah,
too much boxing.
Too much boxing.
Come on. But like,
I don't know, guys.
Mama get says, I don't know, guys. I
think I might have said this on another episode, season 1, as actually.
Yes.
But certain things I believe, and also I don't think people should actually take my word. I mean, we all experience life differently.
Yeah.
Okay, in fact, let me answer your question.
Absolutely.
When it comes to men, I won't speak on things that I don't know about.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how it feels like to ever be totally and have to depend on a man financially. Like, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
But I also speak of an era where I found myself dating. Guys, life is not over about divorce.
I'm loving the smile that comes. You're one of the thought that's coming along with this response. The glow that comes with it.
Yes, and the goofy face.
Guys, toxic situations. Please quote me on this or don't. But guys, can you put men because now I still think I cried too much at the end of my marriage.
Okay.
And I feel like if I always say to people, for me, I have no reason not to want to break up with anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Because there's a pattern I've picked up. I feel like it keeps getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like it keeps getting better. It has kept on getting better for me.
Yeah.
So if I have to break up with someone, bro, I am already anticipating with the next one. Like, So back at the question. So I don't know. I mean, there are people who hold Indoyo Bejwa with great importance.
Yeah.
It's a deal breaker. I actually find, but look, I also primarily I need a man that I know they can hold it down for themselves.
Right.
Primarily.
Because we're primarily. Like, I don't want to think twice. And like, don't give me such issues. Like, just sort yourself out. But if we sorted, I also feel like the one experience I had where a man was consistent in their provisions. Zoba ngemaliti ngenyanga this is your allowance. I didn't like what that did to my character.
Yeah.
You know, I noted how it changed me. Uba wenze rubbish nge-20 ndibala nge-25 bazizawukhala, you know. And I don't hold you on
and you need to act accordingly leading up to 25
not to hold him
from the 18th
I promise you almost you get watered down in your authenticity around this person because he has dated. And then I watched with I don't know, with vigilance. My character, I could confirm it within that short space of time. Change a law. Shame, yima, whoa, Klakusondela late 80 I no baby care disappear. I don't want to pick up on any issues. Last in fact, I'm not speaking for any other woman. It's problematic, you know.
But I'm
this type of person. No, I'm this type of person. Now, if you give me something like a gift, I want to hold it with importance. If you niki mali, I want to know what I'm going to do with it. But but still, I can't commit it to anything. Any day, you understand? That for me is problematic.
You don't have full discretion on how you
know what I mean? I can't a contract whether you will have to sustain this thing. Like, so for me, Shem, it was just a bit uncomfortable. And I didn't like how it was augmenting my personality, you know.
Your reality at the moment.
I'm acting in certain bot ways around this provision, which I didn't need, by the way. You know, I don't think it was for my lifeline, and it I need because guys, but I also want healthy patterns around my money. I don't want the non-control. I still
wait. You said let's correct that. I love that.
But I'll pass. Now I want you to do things for me. Go buy me a bag. Take me out. If we go out and I just know I will blow out your card because I will order what I want to eat. I'll drink what I want to drink. I will, you know what I mean? But which you
I've experienced that, by the way.
You can live out, because also because ufuna ubhatala i-fees zomntana. How disempowering is that? Highway navigators. Like, why am I trading my kids' education for, you know what I mean?
No, but xa emkile uhamba nee-benefits zakhe.
Ngoku kufuneka ndiphe ndiyokhangela, andisakhangeli ngoku uthando, sendikhangela
uyabo ke ngoku.
Ndikhangela umntu ozawufila igap ngoku. Because ndiqhelile.
On some old shit.
No, he's not creating dependency.
What is he creating?
No, he's basically saying, can I make your life easier so that you can get to do other things?
No.
All right? He can pull the plug anytime.
And then make my life.
And then you will go back to your old
And how's my life?
Things.
And how's my life when his dad said, no, guys, adjusting downwards is hard. So rather don't parachute me up at a prestigious something, you know, when I can't afford it.
No, but the guy didn't come to your life saying, let's take our child to a top-notch school than the one they're going to now, right?
Came and maintained.
He is maintaining your lifestyle, but he's just lightening your burden to say, okay, I'll take care of ABCD, I'll take care of ABCD. No, guys, it's something that you have been otherwise taking care of.
I have serious trust issues. Best to diagnose me. I will not let a man come into my life and deal with my essentials. I would like to think the funu jima daily, weekly, monthly. I want to be realistic about my essentials.
Yeah.
And funu mtuzatikum, I'm going to pay for something then only for me to be affected.
Conditional.
Only for
conditionally.
Me. Because I hate the fact that I have no control. They will decide. They can use this money against me. You know? As in, like, I'm not going to give you a 25 and the doubt and lali 5 days.
Do they have to?
No,
Should
but,
they?
But
should they though?
No, but sinibhaqqa sesikuloo relationship baniyakhula.
Oh, flip. Okay, I think.
All right. Okay, now I understand.
I get where Viwe comes from.
I understand your misgivings.
No, I get where Viwe comes from.
Andidlaleli kwezinye izinto mna. I'm sorry. Kaloku umzekelo, you can't pretend like whoever I've been with wayendibonise ii-red flags day one.
Yeah.
But when your red flags eventually emerge, I don't want them to affect my daily life. Must affect my bedroom life. Must affect my ability to go out and have dinner. Must be I can drink because I walk. But it cannot be that affect
fundamentals of life.
And yours explain schooling. I can't pay. I'm still hustling for another daddy. I'm still hustling for another daddy to step. No, hell no. Yeah. Hell no.
Like I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Because I'm still looking for a daddy.
So I need to go and find a man to take care of my essentials.
No, because another one has suddenly walked out.
Yeah.
Or
and then the question becomes, why is it you can't take care of your own essentials? Why do you need a person to take care of you? No, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from.
I'll never let anybody toy with my essentials.
I get where you're coming from.
Guys, on my first day of varsity, my parents set me down. Kwathuba asifuni umuntu oza kuthengela ipendi asicawanga ipendi zakho futhi ungasiphatheli ipendi kule line yalapha ekhaya ezithengwe yenye indoda when we as your parents can buy your painters. For me, the lesson there was learn to survive, you know, on your own. Well, if with my parents, you know what I mean? Anduzba ngathi khandibe nayo la interest, but I wonder how it feels like. I felt it once, and I'm saying thank you very much. That's my vote, guys.
Yeah.
As an adult in South Africa, that's my vote. Thank you very much. So Nika, I'm not taking a bag, price tag. But oh my goodness, you know, go do stuff.
Yeah.
For me,
I think I get it now.
Essentials.
I think I get it now. You're saying for your essentials, you want to take care of.
Yeah.
And anything else outside of your essentials.
That's you as my partner. You should be making. Yes, that's nice. But I can do that on my own.
No sense. For sure.
That's my current.
Okay,
it's nice to have.
All right.
Yeah, it's a nice to have.
Let me ask the question differently. I'm satisfied with your answer.
Okay.
But maybe I need to get to a certain angle to say, to you then, having said what you have said, how would you describe or define provision?
Guys, why is provision even being asked, guys? Like, why? I think social media oversells provision.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of us try and fit our lives into that frame. But I remember when I had news of me being with somebody and a friend saying to me, yeah, better, I think social media and us as a society have just been so amenable to something that is not realistic for all of us. It's not always realistic that whomst you fall in love with has the capacity to, be able to take care of your entire guys. And it's also not realistic for us to expect that everybody else, all of us know how to receive that.
Yeah.
Because guys also asiphili nabantu that come from the same frame of thinking.
Yeah.
Omnye umntu could actually use their provisions as a way of controlling you.
Yeah.
But even before they do, it could also augment you as a person. Where you start demanding less and less respect because you are so accustomed to being bought or for your values not to matter. And then we wake up someday and we ask, why does this person not value me? And it's in how you opened yourself up to that, So I think there's quite a big topic that should happen around provision, whether it's realistic, whether it is possible, and what its effects are on one's quality of life.
If this is now in the context of providing finances or everything else that has to do with finances, because somebody once said provision, it's providing your time, your kindness, your protection. It's not necessarily the finances only.
No, I misunderstood because I thought you were asking finances.
No. I was just saying provision in totality. To say what constitutes provision to you. But
now that in the context of getting to know the interviewer, right, and getting to know Uvi, when it comes to exactly what Uweza is saying, the pay of the nation. When it comes to a question, you got pay of the nation. As it appears to you, as you function in life.
Yeah.
What does provision mean to Viwe? And also, what should provision be in terms, what is provision in terms of relationships when it comes to you specifically?
I love that you make that clarity in terms of relationships because I'm going by eyes open random question and
yeah.
But in terms of relationships, as I said, as long as whatever that we're exchanging, because a relationship by medium of exchange most. We exchange your time, we offer time for time, we offer kindness for kindness, love
we
for
exchange
love.
babes, man.
And we also pairs for, you know what I mean?
We are there.
This is a family show.
It's a platform for exchanges, right?
Yeah.
But I think for me, as long as all of that exchange is with mutual respect, and mutual benefits, to both parties, then it's fair. I can't say, what are the parameters? We're not the same. Somebody else might want financial provision. Somebody else might want something else.
Emotional.
But as long as it's mutually beneficial, as long as it's done with respect, as long as no one party is controlling the other party through provision, then for me it's okay. It's healthy.
Without me,
it's not a bargaining tool. It's not a bargaining tool. It's not a bargaining
tool. In fact, not ngenye. My one and only rebound.
Hello.
So I'm in this relationship with this guy, and I'm assuming it's mutually beneficial and respectful and so on. And then there comes the day when the relationship has to end, and I think I'm the one to say, I don't think this is what I want. Because it's difficult to stay single, right?
Especially when you got. I didn't say it. I did not say it.
But sana dinal rebound relationship, and I think our calculations were certainly not on the same level because I'm also just figuring out love for the first time. I've been out of the dating game for plus 12 years. And brothers, I think he wanted to settle down. I think we were just like this on that.
Yeah.
Long story short, brothers is not ready to break up. And I ended up breaking up with him to High Court. Advocates, guys.
Is Jolo with High Court? So how does this Jolo go to High Court? Dude, hold on, wait. This is not a marriage. Wait.
There was no contract to begin with.
Bro!
Yeah.
Bro! Bro! How do you pick this?
How do you pick
I don't like men. I just have to date.
But you clearly like the wrong ones.
Case.
Yeah.
So he figures, for me to hold her down, udibana ispreadsheet, spreadsheet sakhe sinayo yonke 100 rand okwandifakela yona. And mind my currency, guys, andithi ama tau. Ndithi no 100 rand back. Okay.
Wait.
So uzifaka as an agent application to court for me to
pay back the money.
Pay back the
Bring back the land. Bring back the land.
All right. Do we need to set out rules that if you give a woman money, you're not getting it back?
Like I'm learning something. I think I'm learning something new. I think I'm learning something new.
Now you want to retrieve?
Yeah, man. I think I might just be 100,000 there. Or maybe even a millionaire. God damn it.
So Guy, I feel like Guy was trying to scam because he was still speaking to the people around me. But we were kind of opposed this. Just tell it, ayeki pride, abiyele kumsithethe. Because this case is going to cost her anything upward of $250,000 if she fights it. Knowing of Vemos, I was just like,
the hell?
Advocates, remove chambers. I learned that no officer was rented or bought on chambers. And they're usually not willing to leave unless you give them fees for 3 days. But I looked at this thing, I was like, I know I'm going to spend a hell of a lot of money trying to get myself out of this mess, but ubiza bani to a challenge. Azishe bani.
I'm still trying to understand.
That's whole suitcases that chapels in High Court. Just for a bloody breakup, go for respond.
Yes, Jolo. Yes, Jolo.
I wasn't ready. But as soon as I
this is not dissolving a marriage. This is Jolo.
Ending a relationship.
As soon as I opposed, guy who came with some I'm withdrawing. Can we talk about the relationship? First, they will drag you just for them to get you to talk. And the rest is history. At least I'm free of that man.
Yeah.
I was free of that man. But then, calculations are often in big uzo. That's better than guess some.
1 + 1 is 11.
That's why I'm very calculating with men. You guys ain't coming close to my essentials. To leave without me feeling the weight of you in any material way than me dealing with the stress of the end of the relationship.
I think that's why I can be easily sympathetic to your point of view, then closer to your point of view. Why you would ward off any guy who comes off as somebody who wants to,
why? Because in the long run, it can only hurt me, bro.
What I'm sitting here thinking of right now is, okay, cool. So let's say I'm involved in a divorce, right? What are you
saying? Okay, this is not about you.
Do I need to draw up a contract? Yes, Jolo, before Dio Jola Wakona. How petty are people?
Yeah.
People are...
How petty are people?
I just figured Shemba Ugai was never comfortable in him because I'm even... Whether it was whatever that he decided to forward. The way it's casual, take this card. Even when I'm with him, now let me transfer it to you. So Guy has always been... Because he never trusted that I could date him. Now I'm getting back and there's chacha. But you rebound, guys. I do better now. When you know better.
Hey, you do better.
Because I was about to ask then, Viwe, do you find yourself having to experience similar encounters, similar decision-making patterns? Because now, right out of the marriage into somebody that becomes just as dramatic? Did you end up questioning your ways of actually getting to... Huh?
City. Do I am not a girl. I hope for you, girl, respect, guys, but no, thank you.
So basically now, okay, fine. Brian.
No problem with you.
Now tell me, what drops your defenses then? Because one moment men have given you this very tempestuous experience, right? And then the very same man becomes a source, not really a source of her joy, but part of her joy. So what dropped your defenses to say the very same species,
guys,
this very same gender, the very same gender?
I think what Wes is asking is what blows your hair back into a ponytail? What makes your knickers wet?
Guys, is everything supposed to be a question I respond to? Can I not plead the fifth?
This is not America.
No.
Yeah,
you have a Hobson's choice. You know, it's two choices, but the choice that is essential to make is one.
Which is what?
I was responding to the question.
I honestly can't say. I'm saying this for any guy who might be thinking, how do I get to her? I honestly don't know.
No, but you should know. Aren't you seeing somebody now?
Of course you.
Aren't you seeing somebody now?
You know what? Up until there's something shining on this thing.
Viwe, don't play us here. You said...
Can I complete my answer?
We are still on the Isjolo part.
I feel like...
What makes you say yes to a guy? Simple as that.
You guys
what made you say yes to the guy you are seeing now?
You guys don't understand the basics of economics. The higher the demand, the higher the value.
Okay.
Whether or not I'm seeing somebody now is immaterial.
Really now?
Up until, yes.
But you would know...
No, because you're going to discourage people from pursuing me.
Fine, all right. Be that as it may. Then it was not going to happen if you had answered my question.
And so they should be discouraged because...
What is going to make a guy say yes to you? Or rather, what is going to make you say yes to a guy?
Oh, okay. So
what does it take?
What does it take? It takes a guy that does not have the capacity to feel dangerous to me, right? I need to feel safe around a man.
Yeah.
I now steer away from men that try to be the center of attention. You know, hear me. That's no longer the type of person I look into. I want the ones that have the very quiet confidence in themselves. Ooh. So that's what appeals to me. I want the ones that
Jens, take notes.
So for me, it's the quiet confidence. It's the not wanting to be seen. I'm the extrovert.
Right.
So I don't need somebody competing with that.
It's not
even about talking, guys. It's about don't be something you're not just for the sake of I'm the man here. And you mean don't up. You know, I've had a situation where you say something to somebody and they will own it in front of people. But that's not even your thought. You know. Who are we trying to impress here? You know.
Know yourself. Value yourself.
And I also don't want to be with a man that doesn't understand themselves. Oof. I don't want to be with an afraid man. An afraid man will compete with you. I don't want to be with a fearful man. In other words. I want somebody who is. I want a fun person.
Definitely.
Because also, I mean, guys, I'm at a space where I do not even try to please anyone. I honestly want a man. Honestly, that's taken time. I want a man. That's willing to deal with themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
So I've been in a situation where I could see how broken the man was. You know, suggested interventions, but you could see, but they're not anchored in their own well-being. You know, this is not somebody who is committed to their own journey. They're just doing it for you, and it's easy for you to pick up, right? But a man, and I also don't want to say. But you know when a man is committed to their own well-being, that they will recognize certain things that you say about them, independent of that they're coming from you, and you might be the first person to benefit from their wellness. You know, they will do it for themselves, and that's the type of man I'm also so much into. A man who is willing to, to live with knowing that they're not perfect. And
would you be able to aspire those things on the first date?
Of what?
All those things that you've been listing, are you able to actually pick them up on the first date? Or on one sitting with him? Or would it take maybe a time to study the
I think if your question is about whoever that I might be with, guys, I'm not off the market. But I am, yeah, definitely.
Viwe scored a
but I mean, I'm as single as they come, guys, so listen. But I won't say in any event, but I think, okay, maybe it's not I think time is just a social construct, you know. I hope, but it did take time for me to figure out the person. I had the time.
Beautiful.
Nice. And I'm not saying he is perfect in any way, and I'm not saying si pasa every test that is there. I mean, we could be broken up next month, you know, but I will just speak in terms of the principle, Yoba. I think at this point in my life, I find myself wise enough to understand and to pick up and not to ignore information. Right. When you give me data about yourself, I think I find myself confident enough to sort you out and to see what type of person I'm dealing with. So, how long that takes is...
I have a very particular question, Vina. And it's not about you. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. It's not about you. Okay. Mamela. Okay, cool. So we're getting to know Viwe. And we're getting to know Viwe's trail of thought, way of thinking, right? In a relationship that a person is going to walk into, and this is for everyone that is watching us, right? Because abantu are going to take heed of advice esuka from wena, based on your life and some of your life experiences, right? We're not saying particularly, Ndobana, you are a relationship expert.
Not.
Massively no one is a relationship expert here.
Yeah.
No. But at the same time, we need to be very realistic when it comes to how we approach our relationships. Any relationship that we walk into. Is it safe to say, Ugbana, you need to do a proper check on singalelene?
Absolutely.
You know, before we get into this relationship and we make it a long-term thing. Kukwabantu, for instance, that will come from a marriage, that will be coming from marriage, and they are now, you know, typical example. You come from being married and you're getting into a new relationship. Each due diligence.
Oh, that.
How critical is each due diligence when it comes to walking into the next phase of your relationship, or whatever relationship you're going to walk into? I'm not asking specifically about you. I think what I am asking is each due diligence before you walk into a relationship. How critical is it? Based on what you can advise. And now I'm asking this to both of you right now. I know this is about Uvi, but each due diligence, is it how critical is it? Sibatala guys, we are 40 plus. Let's be honest. We are 40 plus. We are walking into environments where we've come from marriages, we've come from relationships. We are in a different relationship. Due diligence. Let's talk due diligence.
Are you taking it?
How critical is due diligence?
Oh, you want to start?
You're not getting off the hook, Viwe. Yeah, you're starting.
Oh, hell yeah.
You are on the spot. You are on the spot.
Getting to know Viwe.
So I did say, guys, in the previous episode that, for example, in my life, I didn't really practice much due diligence with choosing my life partner. Hence, we're no longer together, you know? I'm not saying that's the reason, but I can tie that up together with the fact that we're not together. I still think I married the first and the only person that ever asked me to marry them. I still think I didn't go too much into what future I imagined with this person and whether or not they would be able to stand.
The practicality.
If I had to give advice to somebody who is about to get married and make that decision, I'd say, look, love is intoxicating. And I was drunk in love, you know, so it is very intoxicating, and it can make you see things that are not there. So I saw things that were not there.
Yeah.
It was as soon as I went into the marriage, and whatever I thought was violated within the first year.
Yeah.
Massively violated. And to a point where if that was the only reason, then my marriage should have ended in that first year, by the way.
Yeah.
Right? But being the person that I was, I then tried to survive within it. And the relationship that I've also spoken about was also a relationship that I didn't apply much due diligence, because it was a relationship that happened when I was weakest, and I think that he saw my weakness and targeted it. Means therefore that there was no due diligence from my part. Seated here today, I would advocate for it. I would advocate for you to understand yourself, because your due diligence will always be a miss if you don't know what you are about yourself. I think it would also just be, it has to be a conversation that's clearly put on the table between you and your prospect to say, what do you imagine this to be? And that in the context of people that are not always truthful, because some people might sell you the story that you want to hear. And with that as well, I mean, that's unfortunately the risk of getting into a relationship, but it's also a risk that I think you can absorb better if you plan better around it, if you raise the questions. And I know a lot of people are quite shy. I think it's a conversation that should be opened for every sphere of your interactions. In other words, we are together. What are your sexual expectations from this relationship? What are your
Dude, are you a freak? Are we going to rock it on top of the flipping bonnet of the car?
And also, because only this person can introduce themselves to you. You know, I mean, what's the point of you trying to figure out and make assumptions on someone you've just met and thinking, oh my goodness, they will love me enough not to want to sleep? If that has been the pattern in their lives, chances are you need to face this thing head on. And if lies are told, then you will know sooner, you know, than if you don't open the topic up for discussion anyway. You will also know sooner if somebody is now violating. For example, somebody might say, I will exclusively love you. And what has been your pattern previously? I mean, you dated this person and that person. What's been going on there? You know what I mean? And if you make sure that the conversation is honest, and I'm saying, yes, you will always have people that will be distruthful. Is that an English word?
Yeah, untruthful.
Untruthful. There will be. But also, you'll also learn earlier on that you're dealing with a liar. And if you put your cards on the table quite early on, then you have no reason to carry the conversation within yourself. Carry the conversation, man-sense assumption, within yourself, when they are giving you feedback that's not aligning with that. So when Zoom is easy for you, I'm quite extroverted, guys, and I say what I think, and I don't care if I've just met you. Apa will either move on what's mutually agreed on, or else as like, I'm not here to serve no man.
Dude,
no hot.
Can I bring protocol? Can I bring protocol? Can I bring protocol?
You know, bro.
I'm gonna bring protocol.
I'm not here to figure them out.
I'm gonna bring protocol, dog. I'm bringing protocol.
I'm not here to figure out all of the different backgrounds.
You have no time
Let's
for
put
that.
it. No, I don't. Zero. Let's put it on the table. And then the minute we disagree on that, as for me, the theory is it keeps getting better, bro. I don't want to break it down for the viewer, but bros, I promise you, trust me, if we ever have a one-to-one, I'll tell you. But like there's an elevation.
It gets better, or I'm not going to accept this.
But I feel like I want to see how far God can take it. So if you F with me, let's keep it moving.
That sounds like a woman who knows what she wants.
No, let's keep it moving. God has just been giving me that.
I like the fact that it opens up. It opens you up to transparency. It opens you.
I don't have time for mind games.
I
don't play mind games.
Mediocrity
as well.
No.
We don't have time for mediocrity.
Mind games as well. This thing of what card do I put forward, bro? I'll give you my honest card. You play with it, bro. Like, honestly, you're not God's gifts to me. Like, we are supposed to be nizange kuthiwa uzawuhlanga mntakwethu I might seem like I'm violent, but emotionally, I am very definitive, guys. I know how to.
You're not violent, but you've been battered and bruised emotionally.
Absolutely.
Do you forgive easily? Easier than you did before?
What does it take for you to forgive?
What does it take for you to forgive? Does it mean a convergence where you come to an agreement that this is how you wronged me? Or do you release of your own volition that, look, I'm going to forgive this person so that I can move on with my own life? and get that inner peace?
I've stayed in situations when I shouldn't have, and I've believed I've forgiven them. My only condition is that you do not then become part of how I forgive. Right? Okay. If I wake up and I want to feel like, yes, I got to you really did that, you know? For me, my forgiveness comes with me. Yes. So I determine how I deal with it, right? I know abanye abantu would be like, "Lanto bendiyenze last year, usayithetha." I'm also not toxic in it, but I also just... like, yeah, brah.
It's all about you and not necessarily about reconciliation.
It is about me. And for me, it's like you don't do your nonsense and get to determine how I forgive.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Yeah. You stay on the one side. And if it is your choice to reconcile with me, and your choice of reconciling with me has got nothing to do with how I behave in that
how I reconcile with
and
you.
And how I reconcile with you. Yeah. So you stay on your side of the Landuka, I stay on my side. We will meet each other halfway. Because you had all the fun, Stando Sam. You know, that was your fun, and it was based on my unhappiness, right? So we don't converge at a point where we're like, honey, ndim, and I'm like, so till I feel like I send a substance now anymore. Then I'll be like, okay, we're here now. So reconciling with me is an absolute choice for you.
Yeah.
It does not. It's not a prerequisite. It's not a pre-done for how I'm supposed to act towards you.
I said
you chose how I should act towards.
I said to someone just yesterday in Lubana.
But because we're on a podcast, Wayne Dyer says forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet gives on the hill that has crushed it. Ooh. I'm still a very spiritually responsible person.
Yeah.
But I don't let humans manipulate me into how I structure my forgiveness. It comes with the whole of me. So when I am meeting my spiritual my Wayne Dyer at that moment where he's like, listen, you need to be that fragrance on this very hill that has crushed you.
It's more about the forgiver than the forgiven.
That's personal. It's got nothing to do with your expectation of my forgiveness. Yeah, thank you. Now you can move.
Navigators, you heard it for yourself. Viwe is very expressive. She is very clear in her thinking, her thought structure. She knows what she wants, and she's very trenchant in her views.
I do want to say something, though. I want to say something. Sorry, it does not mean I'm unshakable. Guys, strong don't mean you don't get hurt.
Sure.
No, I don't want to put out that it doesn't mean you don't get hurt.
We're fallible.
But what I find about myself, as strong as I am, and I don't want to sell people a version of me that feels like I'm unaffected.
Yeah.
I get bloody affected. I get hurt as well. You know, that's why I'm saying, guys, come to me. Because when I express my story, I'll tell you when it hurt.
Get it from the horse's mouth.
I will tell you how it hurt.
How it hurt when...
But the difference between maybe me and somebody else who hurts the same is that I don't own my problems. So the hurt becomes part of the processing of what I need
Holding
to do.
on.
No, it becomes a processing. Because ultimately, I have to come up, stand on my feet and find a solution. So I don't want to sell an unbreakable. Strong don't mean unshaken, honey.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, if she was not summing it up, why should I keep on replicating?
I think she just did.
She just did. That was beautiful.
Strong doesn't mean...
Yeah. So basically, in a nutshell, we were trying to get to know Viwe more intimately. We've been asking her questions. It's been a little bit unilateral. Yeah, so that is your host.
They are done with me.
We have broken her down in 2 episodes, and we are done. All right.